okay? So your hand goes back, out turning your head. You have to rotate the shoulders. If you don't rotate the shoulders, then your head's gonna turn. See that? So you need to rotate your shoulders so your head does not turn. Okay? Let's try that. You start from there. Ready? Up.
Everything else was great, though.
Right, I'm gonna say it one more time down the middle line. Okay? Ready, set, go.
To hit my shoulder to my chin.
Good. Yeah, that's good. You get more rotation, you get more reach, do that way. You get more of a push, okay? Now what I like to see is I like to see more of a steady kick. Your leg is kind of going under the water, so you lose a little bit of the streamline when you kick so large like that. I want to keep your kicks a little bit closer to the top so you maintain more of the streamline position. So I want to see a faster kick right now. Right now, let's just see your kick only, no arms, just backstroke kicks only. Ready up? So now what I want to see is I want to see those same kicks now with your arms now. But I want you thinking about your kicks, okay? I want your legs to stay consistent right now. Now you don't have to kick as fast. You kick 200 back style, okay? Because I don't know, can you kick like that for a 200 back? So just show me what you would do for like more in the beginning of your backstroke, okay? Your first 100, in a sense, that speed of a kick right now. So I would kind of expect more of a 6-speed kick. Kick, 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 kick. Whereas you're going kick, 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 which is good for your last 100, your last 75 or so. But your first 100, I would like to see more of a 6-speed kick, okay? But right now you're kind of doing like you're doing this a lot, where you're kind of doing almost like a 2-beat kick, and your legs are falling down too much. You're losing your streamline. Okay, so I want to see your legs stay a little more at the top of the water. Ready, go. Okay, good. Try to keep your feet a little bit higher out of the water. It's still going a little bit low. What I want you to do is when you kick backstroke, is really your toes should be pushing up the water out of them. You should be pushing up water out, okay? And right now I just want to see faster, a little bit of a faster kick, okay? Ready, set, go. How did that feel for you? How did that feel speed-wise?
It felt smoother. I don't know if it went faster or not.
Yeah. Well, it's both. You're going smoother and you're going faster because you were matching your kicks with your arms before, so you were slowing your kick down. Okay, but I don't know if you can maintain that kick speed for your first 100. But definitely.
I think he could. He's got a really good streamline, John. He streamlines out at least halfway, over halfway. But do you see his left hand how he always goes in flat like that? He needs to, I think, go in a little bit more because I feel like he slips too much.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the arms. Just wanted to get the.
Oh yeah.
The kick was throwing off his whole stroke.
I'm sorry.
Before was what he was doing.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you could try it. Maybe if you're getting a little tired, maybe go a little bit easy. You have prelims and finals, right? So you could always you're always qualified for finals, right? You always do.
A little bit of a gamble.
We do a 50 first.
Okay. All right. Well, what I like about that is the kick's not slowing down your stroke, and you're able to maintain more of a streamlined position when you're kicking your legs up higher. Whereas before you're kicking too low, and you were breaking your streamline, so it's like a tombstone in the water. Each leg is like a tombstone, right? So if you're trying to go this way, and the leg goes down like that, it kind of slows it down, right? Like an anchor. And so maybe you weren't going down that far, but you're going down enough where it was an anchor. Okay? I want your legs staying more up here where they're not an anchor. Kicking down there doesn't make you go this way. It makes you stay up. You shouldn't use your legs to stay up out of the water. You should be using your legs to push you forward. So that's kind of why it felt more consistent, because you weren't taking the breaks and you were feeling the speed. So it felt better, so you felt smoother. And that's what it needs to feel like. Okay? Because then when you want to go fast, all you gotta do is speed up your legs and speed up your arms. Stay down, okay? So same thing again. I'm going to be looking at your arms this time, but now I want you to be doing that kick, okay? Ready, set, go. All right. If you want to, go all the way to the wall. If you can, start your strokes from the wall, finish all the way. But what I would like to see right now is every single time you do a kick right now, you're kind of doing like every so often there's a big kick. There's a big kick. And I want every kick to be consistent and even throughout the whole process. Okay? With your arms right now, I want your arms to come in sideways, not flat. Peeking in. Peeking in. Thumb out. Rotate. You don't need to worry about that. I just need to worry about peeking. Okay, coming sideways. Ready, set, go. Are you entering peeking on your right hand especially? I want to make sure that as you rotate back, is your feet coming in first sideways. Thumb up, peeking out. Peeking down, okay? Thumb up, peeking down when it comes in. Okay? Try. Rotate back. Rotate back with one arm. Now enter the water. Fingers together. Good. Try the other arm now. Try the other arm. Good. Fingers closed a little more, okay? Not like that. Try to keep your fingers closed. Good. Let's try that again. Okay, peeking in every time.
I had to go down and slow it a little more. I feel like my arm doesn't react fast enough when I'm going at a high tempo.
Yeah. That's normal.
Yeah.
It's like we're learning a new move, or a dancer needs to learn a move. They break it apart in steps at first, and they put it all together, and then we can do it. And that's how it works. When I work with all the students, I have to slow them down in order to speed them up. Okay, I have to slow you down to work on the basics, or to work on some of these things right now to get down. Speeding you up is the easy part. Okay, that's really easy. It takes half a lesson to get you faster again. But your big knees up for 3 weeks, right? So you got time to slow it down. So what I'd like you to do is I would like you focusing on this in your swim workout. Who knows? I might be able to speed up a little bit more today. I just got to know how fast I can speed it up and still keep the same technique. It's hard to work on technique if you're going full speed. You need to work on the technique in swim practice, because all it takes is just going faster. When it's time to say go faster, you're just going to go fast. And if you lose a little bit of technique, you lose a little bit of technique. So be it. But now is your time right now in swim practices to be working on this right now, to stay smoother with your kicks, to really rotate the arms all the way, so you rotate the shoulders, coming in without a splash behind you, okay? Ready? So let's try it again. Ready, set, go. Good. Is your right arm entering pinky in? I want to make sure it is, okay? Let's try it again, especially your right arm. That's probably why you're turning your head on your right arm. And that's probably why you're hitting the lane. You're going off center a little bit when you swim. So I want to make sure your right pinky goes in first. Ready, go?
Okay, ready? Roll it out. Say commercial. Go!
Good, nice job. Let's get the kicks up a little bit higher, okay? Let's make sure that goes up.
Better.
Thinking about what if I enter
They have the fingers closed. You're still up.
Go straight behind you.
Okay.
Okay, you don't want to come in early. Okay, you don't want to come in early here. Okay, because then you're gonna go off center, and that's what you're trying to do. You want to come back behind me. Just look what happens. My shoulder is down, right, on the downside. But look what my arm does. And it's a little bit of an arm wrestle, and then it pushes the water in the shape of line going this way. And if I'm up here, I can't do that. You need to come back here. Draw it straight line. Okay? You're trying to drop a lot of time. You're going to have to do something different than what you've been doing in order to drop a lot of time. You're doing the conditioning and practice, right? You're doing the endurance, you're doing the strength, so you got that, right? But if you want to drop a little more time, we got to get gotta get the technique a little bit more in line, okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Just
Set,
out.
go.
Okay, take mark. Go. That was better. How'd that one?
How'd that feel to you?
I know. It was good.
That one
And then
felt
let's make sure you kick on the brake.
better.
out and
I started pushing with my chest more, and I feel like that made me rotate a little more.
Good.
I still feel just a tiny bit of, but it's not as extreme as before.
Not as what?
Extreme.
Splashing or
Splashing.
Splashing. Better, right?
hitting the water?
Splashing
better.
is
How'd
like
that
when you
one?
run, we don't do that. We don't stomp the ground, but when we run, we always gently place our heel against the ground and make it very quiet, right? Same thing when you're swimming fast. When you're gonna slap the water, you know what you're bringing is one, you're bringing resistance. So you just lost your momentum and the speed, and you're bringing air bubbles into the water. When you have air bubbles on you, you can't push as much water and much friction in the water. Okay? When you push air, it doesn't really do anything, right? So these are the things kind of that you're noticing, and I'm glad that you're analytical and you're thinking about these things and you're feeling it, because you need to rotate your shoulders. I think you've seen a lot of videos before, or swim videos, or Olympian and stuff like that. They're doing a full rotation. Full rotation when their arms are going back, right? Well, think about it. If I don't rotate, I can only go to here, but if I rotate, look how much further I go. Here, it's like freestyle. I go to here, but when I rotate my shoulder, I can go
Throw it out,
further.
I think you'll get out a little
Further.
bit further.
You're making a
Yeah.
bigger stroke by rotating
let's
the
go.
shoulders more. And you're having less resistance coming into the water. And that's great, especially on a 200 back. You have to drop, what, 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? So that's quite a bit of time for, we got to drop a little bit of time for each event. I think if you fix your kick and get the big kick more consistent, that will help. If you can have your entry arm come in without a splash, get a little bit more rotation, that will help as well too. And we can work on some things to get you faster, but those are the two main things right now I want you to work on, okay? So let's try it again. Ready? Go. How'd that feel? Oh, good. Yeah. Looks really good too. And fast. Looks really fast. What were you thinking? What were you thinking about?
I feel like my chin is like too much to my head back enough.
Okay. I'll look again. I was looking more at your feet and your arms, but it wasn't bad where it was really far up, but I could look to see if it's in the optimal position. Okay. Ready?
You said you were looking at my arms and legs, so were they good or?
Yeah. I thought that. I saw the speed. Your legs were more consistent. I saw a lot faster kick. Your mom has it on video, so what's going to be fun is that you could play this at home and fast forward the video. Watch your first swim, and then fast forward till you're about 17, 18 minutes into the video right now, and see what that stroke looks like. And you can see visually what looks better to you as well. And you can actually clock the time too on the video. You can see when you start to stop and pull. You can count the seconds in there too. I'll do that as well. Okay. Let's try it again. Ready, set, go.
Okay, good enough. Okay, throw the hands forward.
Yeah, your head can go back a little bit more. And so by pushing the head back a little bit more, that's going to lift your chest up higher by doing that, okay? If your head goes back a little more, but listen to what happens. When you put your head back
That was
more,
better. How'd
you
that one
lose your equilibrium. What that means is
got
you
off
lose
the
your
block
center.
faster, too.
When you go
Can't
back,
go a
you're
little
not
bit
knowing if you're going straight or not. Because the fluid in your
Yeah.
ears,
Better.
that
Come
when
on,
you're
that
staying
left hand.
upright, this is what is making you balance. It's the fluid in your
Yeah.
ears what
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
you balance. When people have vertigo, the fluid's off in their ear, and that's when they can't really stay balanced too much. So right now, you got to put the head back a little bit more and trust yourself that you're going to go straight. Okay? By pushing your head back more, that's going to get you more in a streamlined position, and it's going to get your chest up higher. Okay? You get you higher out of
Better.
the water.
Smaller breath though. Let's
Okay.
try to keep the
Ready?
face a little bit closer to the
Set.
neck when you breathe.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? Nice job. We're trying to get down the middle. You turned a little bit there, so I just want to make sure off your turn that you're not turning. Okay? I don't know if you started off in the diagonal. So I don't want to correct anything until I see it off the line. Okay? Ready? Set. Go.
I'm still going a little off, but not as far as I expected.
Yeah. I think you would have finished into the wall and on the lane line, but you are turning a little bit, which gives you more distance to swim when you're not swimming in a straight line. So you got to make sure your head's not turning when you're rotating your shoulders. You need to rotate your shoulders, keep your finger in first every time by keeping your head still. But we're going over a lot of things right now. It's hard to think about the head, and think about the legs, and think about the arms. Okay? Right now, what I would like you to do is I would like you to think about the arms and the legs. And then as soon as we get that down, we get the head back a little bit more. Your head's not high enough where it's like, oh my goodness, your head's too high and we gotta drop the head back more. It does need to drop back more, and that will get you more in a streamlined position. But I feel like the biggest time savings right now is gonna be in your arms and your legs, because we gotta get your stroke straight. And getting your stroke straight is gonna mean you need to keep that pinky and finger in every time, rotating the shoulders all the way, okay? And if you don't rotate the shoulders, your head is gonna turn as a result, okay? So we need to rotate our shoulders so our head doesn't turn, okay? Ready?
Okay, you want to do breast stop and push or up and dive?
We'll do jump off, push, run.
Okay, ready? Go.
That time you went straight.
As from the speed, throw it out. You can let it wait, but I want you to throw your hands on your chest.
How'd that feel for you?
Go.
It felt fast, it felt powerful. Feel like I'm bumping up and down a little bit. Do you see that?
Well,
One leg.
that's going to be a little bit from arm timing and also head position, okay? So if you want to stop the bouncing, this arm needs to stay here till the other arm gets to above the head. When this arm gets above the head, that's when the arms switch. So one arm is always behind you, so it doesn't drop down. Your body doesn't drop down. That's holding you up like the front end of the super surfboard, okay? That arm stays there until this arm gets to here. But we're going over a lot of stuff right now. Again, I don't think your bouncing is a lot compared to what I've seen from other people. I feel like if you focus on these two things right now, you're gonna drop some time. Yeah, I mean, ideally there's like 4 or 5 things that we could be working on right now, but your mind's not gonna be able to think of, because these things are constants. They're not like you do this, then this, then this. It's hard for your mind to think about those 4 things, 5 things at the same time. So it's important for you to know about these things. I would like you to first prioritize how your arms enter in the high, fast kicks. Once you feel like you've got that down to some practice, then focus on head back more, holding still while you're doing that. Then if you feel you got that down, then we can think about arm timing a little bit, okay? But I feel like you need to do at least a week of some practice, what we're talking about with doing this. And I don't care if what your coach is telling you for how fast you're supposed to go. You need to do it this way so you keep your technique in line, so you make it a habit. Because if you make the technique habit, it's gonna be really easy and fast to speed you up for the meet.
Right.
And your meet's not for 3 weeks, and I love to hear that. I don't like it when I see people and their meet is this weekend, and I could only work on speed work with you, and I can't really work much on technique. Okay, but when your meet's not for 3 weeks from now, I can tell you, take it easy in practice and do it this way right now. Okay, till it's sound, so you've got it memorized, and then we'll speed you up a little bit. Do these other things, okay?
Yeah.
He does have
Alright.
a meet next Saturday.
It's
one, this
okay.
Saturday
It's
or
not an
weekend?
important
Next Saturday.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're going, but it's just Rose Bowl. It's not a big deal.
Not this Saturday.
Not this Saturday. It's next Saturday, but it's not a big deal. It's just
a
Rose Bowl.
one-day
It's like
meet.
2 events.
Yeah, you're fine. But again, if you work on this for the next week right now, it's only Tuesday right now. So if you could work on this for the next week right now, that's really good. Honestly, I'm not worried. Anything we just told you to do right now, this is not going to slow your stroke down. We didn't slow your stroke down except for you thinking about how your arms place in. So you're having to slow down for that. But that's not going to take very long for your body to get used to that. I got to be honest. If you just do that the next several days of practice, it might happen after 3 days. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe after 4 days.
Right.
And that part will be easier. When I switch your arm timing, that will take a little bit longer.
So River, don't feel pressured by the coach. I know they're ramping up right now and doing a lot of speed
They're
sets.
doing huge.
But if that's the case, just go last. Don't go first and think about what you have to do.
To be honest, I also don't feel like you doing this are going to go much slower. I think you think it feels slower, but it's also more efficient. And so when it's more efficient, you're using less energy to go faster. You're get what I'm saying? So I say just try to stay in your same position, try to do it this way, see what it does. But you know what? You have opportunities to do backstroke, I think, when you're not going full speed sprint, right? So you gotta just do this more in warm up, you know, because I don't know if it's choice in warm up if you only do freestyle or if you're allowed to do more backstroke in warm up. And maybe you elect to do more backstroke in warm up. Start off with a 200 free, and after the 200 free, why don't you just switch to backstroke for the rest of the warm up? And just take it nice and easy, rotate. You get 800 yards under your belt doing that. That's going to be huge muscle memory for your brain to remember. Okay, so that's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Okay, so do you want to still do more backstroke or do you want to do anything else?
Let's do some freestyle.
Freestyle? Okay. Ready, set, go. Breaths across the whole pool. You're going a 1-2 pattern right now. You're going 1-2, 1-2, and you're lifting. You're not rotating the shoulders. So same thing as backstroke. I want to see you rotate more. Reach and roll. This arm stays here until the other arm passes the head and switch here. Switch by the head. Switch and rotate. Okay, switch and rotate. No breath. Back to the wall this way. Ready, set, go.
Okay, ready to try it again? You want to do this one with a dive?
Keep the head still. I don't want a bouncy motion. Keep your head still right now. Look down, hold it still. Same thing across
Okay,
the pool,
ready?
one breath. Ready, up?
Okay, come on. Go.
How'd that feel for you?
Felt very smooth.
Very smooth.
I feel
Very
like,
smooth. Much smoother.
I don't know, the breath always makes me bounce much more. So I've been talking with my mom. We tried to do like every 3. So,
Well, you're interrupting your stroke for your breath, okay? And so what you're doing is you're not breathing at the right timing as well. So we got to work on that right now. I want you to feel like what the strokes feel like. So what I want you to do is every single time you do freestyle and workout, is I don't want you to breathe for the first 5 or 6 strokes. I do not want you breathing for the first 5 or 6 strokes. What I want you to do is maintain that, get the smoothness down. Once you get the smoothness down, then introduce the breathing. Make sense? That way you know what your stroke is supposed to feel like, and that will help you out with doing this in swim practice. Okay? I can only do so much here in a 40-minute lesson or so. A 40 to an hour lesson compared to what you could do in the hours that you do. You're doing 10 hours a week at least in swim practice. So I need you to make sure you're doing this as record. So I'll look at your breath more to fix that. But what I want you to do is when your arm turns is when you breathe. So when this arm goes up is the same time you breathe. You go up with your shoulder roll. Watch my shoulders. My shoulders are rolling, right? Well, so does my head. Okay? My head goes with my shoulders, and then when my shoulders go back down with the arm, it goes back down with it. We stop. But I also don't lift the head out of the water. And I think you're lifting out of the water. You need to keep your head in the water, keep your nose and your mouth in the water. Your head is going to spread the water apart. Okay? To stop the water from going in. Part of my mouth is in the water when I breathe. I don't even lift it out all the way. My breaths are very close to the water when I breathe. One eye in the water, part of my lip is in the water, but the water is departing like that as I'm swimming. Okay? Sometimes you swallow a little bit of water when you're first learning this. Ready, set, go. How'd your breath feel?
felt like it wasn't interrupted.
Good.
My coach mentioned something about head and body, like this, not this location, but this. They're not connected. I don't know. Does that mean anything to you?
In freestyle?
Yeah, this connection.
Who's your coach?
Nathan.
Christina's Nathan, that coach?
Yeah.
Your
My
best.
favorite.
Okay.
Hey, come on. Go. Everyone who wants to join us, team He's also a water polo coach. He wasn't a swimmer. He was water polo coach.
Oh. Good.
I looked him up.
Listen,
Okay.
you
Get
might
the
not be
elbow
communicating
puller.
in the right way with what he's seen.
Yeah, let's go.
This cannot come back to me.
Right.
He's seen that it was off,
This side. Let's
and
go.
maybe he wasn't saying what the right thing is. What we just saw right here, your stroke was off your bounce, right? You weren't rotating the shoulders, so maybe he meant that you weren't rotating enough and keeping the head still. That's maybe what he meant. But that didn't make any sense to you, right? What I'm explaining to you probably makes more sense to you. So maybe let's say we agree. With that, so he's a great coach and he pushes people really far. And you should have confidence in your coach that he's gonna make you reach the next level. And he's gonna push you very hard conditionally and endurance wise. And that's gonna be really, really good. And I think what we're saying is gonna be very similar because it was off. Your head was bouncing. You were bouncing in the water. And your head is, what I always say is the head is the center of the stroke. Even though the hips are supposed to rotate, people think this is the center of the stroke. And that's, in the sense that, I guess that kind of really is the center of the stroke, but this is your steering wheel. And when you drive the car straight, or we doing this when you go back and forth on a bumpy road, we're holding it still no matter how much resistance we get, we're holding the wheel still. And this is your wheel. And you gotta hold this still. And if you're gonna bounce it up and down and you're gonna move it around, your center of stroke is off. Okay? Now, the next part where your coach is probably saying is that let's keep the head still and let's try to rotate more, rotate the shoulders, keeping your head more in the water, which is what we're doing right now. I don't want that getting in your head so much. Let's think about what we're doing here. You just said it felt smoother, it looks smoother, it's more efficient. Okay? Ready, set, go. Very good. I like that a lot. How's that feel?
That one felt really good.
Very good. Very good. I don't want to make any more changes to your freestyle. That's perfect right there. I like that. I mean, honestly, I could throw more things in, but right there, if you could just do that and think about that in still practice, you will drop so much time. And your IMs, you IM?
Occasions.
And freestyle. What freestyle events do you do?
2 free, 5 free, 1 free.
Do you know what your splits are on the 2 free?
2 free usually goes 4, 25 distance. 27, that last one.
Seriously? You're not swimming your 200 free correctly. You know that, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to even split it. That's supposed to be 2, 3. That's
I like to even negative split. Okay? I'm a big believer of negative split. In my years, I was negative split. And my college coach absolutely hated me negative split. He did not like that. And now, what do you know? A lot of coaches out there are saying negative split is good. Okay? What I mean by that is you're going out too fast in your first 100 and you're dying in your last 100. If you could swim more smoother like this, what you're doing right now, you're going to have more energy for your last 100 and you're going to be able to take some time off. You don't drop a lot of time when you're 2 free. I think as much as 2 seconds. What's your time right now?
141 high.
Oh, maybe a second then. We'll say a second right now. But I would like to get 2 seconds off. I think what nationals is what, 138? 139? 38? Okay, what are you trying to get?
I'm trying to go 140, maybe 135.
Okay. I think we could do that with swimming this way. Swimming this
John?
down to you too, right? Watch it on the video. Watch it on the video, and you saw it too.
Right.
Watch how
On the
that's-
200 in the beginning, is he supposed to breathe every second stroke and still maintain the smoothness, or?
He can. I just need to. Why don't we bring in? Here's the thing. It's a split thing. I a lot of times break every 2, but if you feel like you can go longer, you can. You need to be careful with the 200 free. Is that if you don't get enough oxygen
Right.
in, you could build up lactic acid into your muscles. And so we need to make sure we keep a constant stream of that. Maybe you could do 2, and then you go 4, and then you go 2, and then you can go 4. I don't know. Or you just go every 2. But if you're gonna do every 2, I expect your breath to be non-noticeable, not to be a long breath. So why don't we go back to breathing every 2 right now, so I can see if we can maintain the small breath. Keeping that still. Why don't you do the first 4 strokes without the breath, just so you can, first 4 or 6 strokes without the breath, so you can maintain so you can feel the So do it the right
Smoothness.
way, and then go every 2, okay? Ready, go?
Yeah, I know. Look better. I like it better when you get gentle.
You're stopping for the breath. When you go every 2, you're stopping.
Let's go.
Stopping. Like that. That's what you're doing. You're stopping. Whereas it should be part of the stroke. See that? I don't stop. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. Up. That fast. Not.
Good.
Stopping.
Faster, though.
That's what you're
When
doing.
you go on the wall, you gotta
Okay?
tuck it
You
down.
fix that. That would drop so much time.
At the wall,
Okay?
tuck it down faster. Try again.
How'd that feel to you?
There was some slight bouncing with it, but I did feel faster. I didn't feel like there was any pausing.
Yeah. What you did there is there wasn't pausing for the breath, but what you did on the breath that you felt was you're going too high out of the water. So on the video, you're going to see that when you're doing that, your whole head is coming out of the water for the breath, whereas you should be keeping one eye in the water and part of your lip in the water. When you were doing the 1 or 2 breaths per lap, you weren't going that high out of the water. What I would love to see you do is fast forward the video saying, what did you do for the whole lake when you only did 1 or 2 breaths? You maintain the breath really close to the water. But now what you're doing is you're not stopping for the breath this time, which is great. That's gonna drop a lot of time. It could drop massively hundreds of a second for every breath you take, and you're taking how many breaths per lap, and how much time can that save you per lane by saving that time is huge. We can save a half a second per lap. That could be 2 seconds for a whole 200, right? Even more. So you got a lot. If we could just save a little bit every time, that's gonna add up to a lot when you're doing this every single breath. So breathe a little closer to the water, but this time let's not go so high out of the water. Let's keep the head a little bit more in the water, okay? Ready, go?
I choked a few times, but otherwise, yes, it did feel smoother.
Only a couple times, right?
Okay, ready?
2
Go.
out of however many times.
Okay. Yeah, so you just gotta know how to change your mouth. Like that. Okay. So what I want to make sure that you do is I want to see really what I can see more with that is you're doing better with your breath, which is good. But I would like to see a little bit more shoulder rotation. I would like to see you reach a little bit more, glide more,
That was better.
reach more. Okay. Your stroke definitely looks better when you don't breathe every 2 strokes. So when you're doing a 50 and a 100, I really expect to see more of that. Okay, breathe only one, maybe on a 50, maybe you only breathe 1 time down, 2 times back at the most. Okay, on a 100, maybe you breathe maybe 3 times down, 4 times back at the most. Okay, so I don't like telling people counts of breaths and having you think about that, like you do naturally, but I would like you trying to hold your breath a little bit longer and breathe when you need to. It takes a while for that lactic acid to build up. But right now, I'd like to see a little bit more shoulder rotation in there. Reach further right now. Reach further, okay?
How did my elbows work? I remember like the past few lessons we did working on dropping elbows.
Better, definitely, for sure. But I think right now, again, I don't see anything there that would make me have you stop doing what we're doing here to do that. What I do when I look at kids is that I've been doing this long enough too, and I'm short for a swimmer, I'm only 5'8", so what I had going for me was my technique. Okay, not so much the height of the muscle, I had more of the technique going for me. When I look at someone's stroke, I see what's off, and I try to choose the top 2 things to work on, because that's usually what your mind can think about doing that. And then when we get those 2 things going, then we can work on some other things. I try to find the 2 things that are going to make the biggest difference in time drop possible. I feel like what we're working on right now is going to be the biggest time drop. If we can fix your breathing, fix your rotation in your stroke, that'll be huge. Okay? So ready to start from the wall? Let's do 1 full lap.
Push down a little bit, see if that is true. Okay. Good job again.
water for the breath, which is really great, but it's still not quite yet part of your stroke, by meaning that when you breathe, you're not rotating your shoulders enough. When I breathe, I rotate the shoulders to breathe. Rotate. Whereas you're kind of turning the neck a little bit when you're not fully rotated. You need to rotate, reach and roll. And this is so important in 200 free and a 500 free and a mile. Really getting that reach and that roll. In the 50, you're kind of not rolling as much. And 100. So right now you need to. So right now, same thing. Still fast breath, still low in the water, but you need to rotate your shoulders more, making your head turn with your shoulder. Feel it down here. Ready? Second. Huge right now. We're dropping water. There you go. Love that one. How'd that feel to you?
That's good.
Really good, right? Wow, if you do that on a 200, you're talking about time. I think you go sub 140. Okay? So you just gotta not be too excited for the first 100. Keep it nice and smooth. Okay?
What do you think he should? Do you get to pick what you swim at the Rose Bowl meet or no?
I already submitted. What did I submit? I think 200 free, 100 back, and 100 fly. He said one off and then 2 main.
Okay.
Okay, there's no 200 back.
Well, it's
I
one
either
day
did
and
two
it's
free or
pretty
two
quick.
back.
I don't think
Yeah,
you
you
should
can't do two. You can't do two 200s. Now, what is the highest ranked in right now?
Too bad.
What?
200
back?
backstroke.
Yeah, but he'll have that in sectionals 2 weeks later. But it'll be good, I think, if he swims the 200 free just to see how he does, and then he'll have like a week. That's President's Day week. Then he'll have like a week and a half before he has to swim it at sectionals.
True.
And if he can make finals, then he'll get to swim it twice
So
in
if you're
sectionals.
doing the 100 back, what I expect you to do is what we did in the back, is the fast straight kick. So in warm up at the meet, I want you just doing kick for the half a lap, fast straight kicks, and then I want you to add your arms in, thinking 100% on the kicks, fast straight kicks. What I like to do in warm up for meets, I like to do a lot of 12.5 yard sprints. You do that too? 12.5 yard sprints. Maybe a lot of times I'll build and I'll finish strong, or a lot of times I'll start off strong, warm down for the second half. I like to do a combination of both, but it gets your muscles going. But first you got to do it slow, and if you could just do that fast kick like we talked about, getting that shoulder rotation with the pinky finger in, wow, that would be huge for drop a lot of time. Okay, and that, and freestyle right now, I'm excited for how you just swam that right now. So I need you thinking about that. And now that you've videoed this, what I would like you to do for his first swim practice, I don't know if that's tonight, is I would like you to video some of the swim practice so you can show him, this is your lesson, this is what you just did in a workout, is that the same? I think you've got to do it slow in order to do it right, and then once you go slow, that's fine. If you need to speed it up for practice, speed it up, and then remember when you go slow again to warm down, do it the correct way. That makes sense? Okay, because I get it. It's important to train with sprinting, and I want you to sprint. But I need to make sure you're doing what you're doing here, there. Great, I mean, he picked it up right away, Christine.
Oh no, he's a good swimmer. He tries hard. He fixes
He's
everything.
analytical, he gets it, he's feeling what I'm seeing, and that's good, we're in line. What you're feeling is what I'm seeing, and I don't like to tell people what I'm seeing until I ask them what they're feeling. Because I don't want to tell you what you should say. I want to know if you're saying, if you tell me it feels weird, if you tell me it feels slower, it feels bumpy, whatever it is, I'm able to tell you what I saw in there, why you felt that way. But that was really, really great freestyle. I like that a lot. I really think the world's a limit if you swim it that way. It'd be huge. I think your coach will be impressed too. So,
Maybe you want to try even for the sprint sets every 3 or 4 breaths and just go slow if you have to. Don't make the best
yeah,
time.
maybe don't breathe every 2 for the sprint sets. Because you're not you're doing a 200 sprint. And if you're doing a 50 sprint anyway, you're not supposed to breathe more than one breath down. So don't breathe much. Your stroke will be more centered. I a lot of times when teaching even kids to learn to swim, I take away the breath first. I don't breathe at all. The breathing throws everything off. And then you're doing this and you're bouncing all over the place and doing that. So I like to say no breath at first. And so that you show what it feels like. Because the breath definitely was throwing it off. You felt that. So he was going too high out of the water for the breath, so we got him to go a little bit closer. So he swallowed water a couple times, got a little closer. He was also stopping for the breath, Christine. So he was
Yeah, I
going
know, he pauses
and he was
the hand.
stopping. So we fixed that. And even if if it's just a quarter, 2/100ths of a second for every breath.
Oh, I know. It'll be a
That would
lot
drop
because on
2
the 200
seconds.
he breathes a lot.
That would drop 2 seconds for a 200.
Right.
2/100ths of a second. for
It'd
every
be
breath.
amazing if you could swim like this. I think you get a lot anytime you want.
Oh, I do too. I think you should
Yeah.
video the Latinx meet and then watch his, like, what was it? Kevin Perry was his first big meet.
Oh, that was awful.
And that one was
That was
painful to watch.
Yeah, that was awful.
But he had taken, like, how long did you take off? Like 2-3 months almost?
Listen, if you're gonna go to this meet, I don't want you going into the meet thinking this is a nothing meet. I want you going into the meet thinking it's a real meet. I want you going into it with because if you go in with a bad attitude, in the sense of just like, this is not a serious meet, I don't try that hard in a sense, I know you're gonna try hard, but you're kind of discounting the meet. I don't want you doing that. It's gonna affect how you swim. I want you doing this is like, this is my prelim swim for my sectional meet, and I need to know and get some. It's gonna build confidence. If you could drop time in this meet, doing some of these things, imagine that will do confidence-wise for your sectional meet.
So wear a tech suit if you have to.
Yeah,
It's a waste, but okay.
that's huge.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
Jacob Lang's gonna wear a tech suit.
Yeah.
So I'll see. So I'll see. Maybe we'll get you in one more time. All right, before
Well,
sectional.
yeah, because you'll see him next week, and that's before the Rose Bowl meet too. Because then I think you're gone the next week.
This next week I'm gone Thursday.
No, you'll see him next Tuesday. So you'll see him next Tuesday. Then he has the Rose Bowl meet. You're gone on vacation the week after that because you come back the day after sectional starts.
Okay.
Sectional starts
March
Thursday.
28th I leave. Yeah. March
Yeah,
28th.
What?
Yeah, I leave March 28th.
March 28th.
February
Mar-
28th.
February.
Oh.
February 28th.
Yeah,
February 28th to March 3rd, I'm gone. That Monday through.
yeah. So that's why next Tuesday is his last Tuesday with you. Then you're gone on his trip. Then he's at sectionals the day before you come back from your trip.
Okay, sectionals is on Thursday.
The 2nd of March.
Okay.
2nd through the 5th, right, River?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's good?
Can I do one more 50 with you just before I?
Yeah.
50s?
You do 25 or 50?
Anyway.
You do whatever you want. Ready to go?
Yeah, so you'll see him one more time next week.
I have that on my phone.
Yeah. I will remind you.
And hold your breath there at the end. That's good. Fingers, close your fingers a little bit more smoother. When you did breathe, you're going too high out of the water. You probably felt that. You gotta stay a little bit. You gotta stay a little lower to the water and not pause for that breath. Your goal is to make that breath part of the stroke. Literally, when I breathe, it's like that. I literally just turn my head that much. That much. It's just bare. Not that much. Okay. You'll be able to train your lips to be able to breathe through the right part of the lip that you need to. The less you have to take your head out of the water, the better right now. Okay, I'd like you to keep that head more in the water. Okay? And you'll work on that over time. And like I said, you might swallow a little bit of water, but that's only for the first time. At that point, I think you didn't swallow any water that time, but you also weren't. You just gotta get a little lower in the water, and that will drop a lot of time in it. So you're getting a lot better. Your technique is getting a lot better. I see it right now. I see that you're working on it in swim practice right now, which is nice. So you just got to work on this a little bit more now. Now here's the next steps for this.
So lower and then turn a little bit less.
Turn your
out
shoulders more.
Turn your shoulders more. For backstroke, it's pretty much just leg, arms, gotta rotate.
Start with the legs first.
Legs.
More important, get this fast, straight, small kicks. Because he was doing the same thing
Yeah, I
again,
know,
doing
I
his
saw.
big kicks. So we got to do those faster, smaller kicks, remember? That will help it. And you saw that was smoother. And then your arms, keep your finger in, right? Your fingers are not as open as they were before, but you're still open. You're still open. But they're getting better. So that's good that we're getting better. And like I said, the more things we have opportunity to get better, it's just going to drop more time for you. Okay? I'm glad you set your goals for just dropping a second or two. Any savings you get in your knee, even if it's a half a second, you should be celebrating. Be like, yes, I dropped time. It's not fun when we add time, and I get it. And there's factors that come into play when we add time on. If it's bad weather, it's really cold outside, you you need to keep your muscles warm. You do that, right? You wear a parka to the very last second.
Exactly. Tell him that. He runs around in nothing.
Cannot do that.
And barefoot or just flip flops. Tell him that. I tell him that.
The ground is really cold, and you need to wear a parka on you. And when you're ready to swim, throw the parka on the ground or on the chair, and you get your parka back when you go back out. And bring your towel with you. You don't take it off until they say, come up. Then you take the jacket off when you get up. You stay warm. Okay?
Exactly.
All
So
these
what happens when your
details.
muscles get cold is your muscles tighten up. When you stay warm, your muscles stay loose. There's more blood flow to those muscles. Okay? So that will be huge for you. And it's been bad weather this winter right
Oh,
now.
I know. And he walks around in like flip flops and nothing else on except for his speedo.
I think it's supposed
I had
to
a flannel on.
it's supposed to warm up the next few days. Like we're supposed to get some 70s, I think, for the first time the next couple of days, and I think it's supposed to get into the 60s a little bit. So at least it's a little bit better. I don't know how.
Sectionals weekend. Nice.
I don't know how it's gonna be.
I think I should just bring
we'll see.
heaters.
Oh, when are you going to Mammoth?
Next Thursday, not this Thursday. Next Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, so no Friday.
Okay. I've talked to you about that too. I'm dropping my Fridays. So I could practice on another
Really?
day. Yeah.
Like taking off Fridays entirely?
Completely. Till maybe summer.
Day off?